Kia ora fam, welcome to the first ever Friends and Fan Party. Oh my gosh, surrounded by legends of the NFT game right now, like local legends. We're all a little bit kind of apprehensive, kind of semi-nervous right now because there's a little bit of doxing that's going to go on, and then there's some cool conversation that's going to happen. Tamua's going to be in the background just looking GQ scucks. Look at that guy. Can we get him? Look at him. Handsome man. Danica Cooper, jewelry representing. But we're here to talk about all things NFT, all things Web3, all things meta, all things crypto, all of the things. But we shouldn't go on too much further without introducing our panel, our peeps. Yo, guys are looking real nervous, man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, this is cool. Thanks for having us. This is dope.
We got to reveal our identities, otherwise people aren't really going to know where we're from. So shall we start here? I'm not going to introduce you. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then maybe you can choose if you dox yourself right now or not. I know we talked about your dox yourself, but
Do you want? Okay, we can do it now. We can do it later. It's up to you.
you can do it now.
Okay. Well. Okay. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Omia. On Discord, you might see me as Remo888, and I have a separate Instagram page for my NFT crypto stuff to keep it separate from everything else I do in my normal life called Girls Who NFT.
Yes.
Which, I actually just started that page because when I got into NFTs and started having a tutu, I did start posting things on my normal page.
Yeah.
And I started getting a bit of backlash for it. So I had quite a good number of people hit me back and be like, "Oh, sis, you're not really going to be getting into that, are you? Are you
People
like?"
think you were, what do they think were going on? Like you were getting into the next level Ponzi scheme or something like
a pyramid scheme or like something like that, or like
Yeah.
I was selling out because I'm a musician. So all my followers know me as a musician. So when they saw me going into this realm, they kind of, one, they don't understand it, so they got confused, and two, I think they thought that I was selling out or something like this. I had people sending me YouTube clips being like, "I would really like you to watch this before you get into the space," and it was like,
We've got 2.5 hours to watch that video.
yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't have that time or patience. But like, I watched some of it, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go. So I made a separate page, and I actually just liked the name Girls Who NFT.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just liked it.
It's really cool.
And I sat on it for a little while, and I didn't do anything with it. And then when my backlash got more, I was like, okay, I'll start posting on here and move everything over.
That's crazy, eh?
So that's how that page came about.
Dope.
Yeah, that's just a general rough little thing for me. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one of you two brave men would like to go next? Paper, rock, scissors? No? Got it?
Oh, good.
I like
Oh,
the
good.
paper, rock, scissors there.
Ka pai. Yeah, kia ora everyone. My name is Tiare. On Insta, I've got an account called Metaverse Natives.
Let's go.
And I guess what I was thinking, so I work in architecture in my day job, and also dabbled in fashion with my brand Aritoa. And yeah, I just wanted to, I've missed out on opportunities in the past, and I thought I can see things are happening in this space, and I just thought, let's just commit to it and see where we go. And so, and also think that bringing our own people into it, because there's bigger things at play with, there's the NFTs, but there's what's happening with blockchain, and it's like a whole new social system, governance, legal, everything. And I feel like if we're not a part of it, then there's the opportunity that we'll be colonized again in the process.
All over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we can get our heads around it, we can bring our people into it.
Me.
So I think that's what drives me.
Yeah, I love your content too, bro. You're on, eh? You're on. You're up on it.
Yeah,
Like
Twitter Spaces and all that.
Yeah. I'm like, what's this bro looking at? Like, there's few people I look around and go, what are they looking at right now? But like, you're one of the people I go, gotta check Metaverse Natives.
Cheers.
True.
Too much. Yeah, kia ora. Kia ora koutou. Ko hikurangi te maunga, ko waiapu te awa, ko Ngāti Porou te iwi. Ko au he mokopuna o te tai rāwhiti. And kia ora, yeah, my name is Richard Green.
Hey!
And of the last one out, last one left. So yeah, I am Blockchain Maori.
Blackchain Maori, let's go.
Chair whānau. And yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your kaupapa, bro. People know, but
yeah, like it's very similar to the bro, the kaupapa about like kind of being left behind. So that was where like I think the passion more for blockchain sort of come in. Like, oh yeah, we can use this tool. You know, we can do something with this tool if we learn about it. So that kind of was that sort of path, and that sort of sparked it. And then I suppose naturally, someone who probably, I don't know, can't sit still. You know, even now, I'm like, I feel like inside me, I'm screaming in 1,000 times loud right now. You know what I mean? My heart's beating 100 miles an hour. I made us a little bit late, you know, everyone was kind of chilling, like all of that's all stacked up, you know. So I'm someone who can't sit still and chitter chatter, do things, minds all over the place. And I'm always daydreaming. So that mixing with something we could use kind of had it. And the big thing is, for me, a big passion of mine is our rangatahi.
Nice.
Yeah, so just kind of seeing what like, you know, if you like ideas yourself, like if you're an ideas person and you like to dream, you can just only imagine what young people could do with a tool like blockchain. You can just imagine it. So we want to just be a part of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, chair.
If you guys can hear a little bit of background noise, it's the rain. Our studio from like the walls down is dope, but then like the roof is not. So if you can hear some rain, just everybody pull your mics in a little bit closer just so we don't.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So hey, I wanted to talk about something just to kick off, and I think the way the kōrero can go is just, I know everybody came with their own little whakaaro that we can all have a bit of a yarn about, so I'm keen to do that. But just to kick it off, I'm keen to talk about two things. Number one is this whole theme of anonymity and having to put up a different handle or be someone else. And everyone's got different reasons, and I'm not saying that people are hiding behind anything necessarily, but like just when we're chatting before, everybody's got their own experience that led them to create something different, bro. Yours is very different from yours, sis, and yours too, bro. So I'm just really interested in that idea, because when I came into the space, I was just, I'm me. And so I was just like, okay, I'll just be Pat Mac. That's the same thing as I am, Web2 dude. Okay, I'll just be same guy in Web3. But like my story is my story, your guys' story is your story. What is the background? Because I'm so interested in that, because, you know, when you're going to invest in projects, so much of the initial due diligence you do is like, who are these people? Who is this team? Well, why the fuck did we just start by saying who we were in the first place? Like, why does there have to be a docs in the first place? What do you guys reckon?
I think that, so the reason I think.
What's your personal reason, bro? Like, what?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with, because I refer to Blockchain Maori as a we a lot, and I use us and we. Like, you know, that's the personal pronoun I use online, because it started as a idea for a rōpū. Like, when I do something, like I'm the type of person, that likes to manaki my bros, you know? And if I'm going somewhere and I know my bro's gunny at doing something, like, why would I want to, like, I still want to team up with heaps of other people and mix with everyone that I don't know, because they know stuff where I don't. But wherever I go, I want my boys to come with me, you know, I want my whānau to come with me, you know, I want my darling to come with me, like all of those things. So that's what the kaupapa originated as a sort of we. As a project for a group to kind of take off and, you know, create our own NFT project, create courses, do all of those sorts of things. So that's still a kaupapa and then the process. But at the moment, it's just pretty much myself doing it, and then, well, you know, it's not myself, because it's, you know, all of yous and everybody that's listening and all of that. Like, so it's everyone. But I was personally in I think a growth space, you know, like a lot of relationship things, a lot of friendships and things like weren't going right. Work wasn't going right. I was taking a few leaps. I quit my job and things like that to go into partnership with another friend, and he went through some bad stuff which pretty much almost ended us 5 minutes into it.
Yeah.
So I was going through some stuff, and I was just like, instead of kind of putting myself out there, because I can't always be the energetic self, because it's with things crashing a little bit outside of my whānau, I'm not like, I can't always fully be there, but at least I can hack away when I'm all good a little bit at some content, put it in and then blast it out when I'm all good, sort of thing. So yeah, I was just on a personal build with life. Nice. But I still wanted to do this, and I could just see it, I could just see blockchain. I was just like, bro, it's happening. You're either in there or you're not.
People were complimenting you upstairs. They're like, yo, bro, your content is mad. Then I saw you do the Maori blush. You did the Maori blush a little bit. But how does it feel to get that feedback, bro?
It is like, in all honesty,
you talked about, right? Like you're doing it, for your people, for your whānau, for your friends. Like, it's about everybody.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Web 2 and Web 3, by the way, right? It's just like Web 2 is like very cult of selfie. Web 3 should be like we bring everybody with us. What's your experience, just like with your whole doxing game?
Truthfully, like I said, I made that page for my reasons, and then that was great. And I also made that page, the name Girls Who NFT, I just legit thought it was cool. And no one had taken it. And I was like, well, the space is going to blow up, so you better take something before it does. So I took it, put my stuff on there, and then initially it was just me documenting my journey, being new to the space, and just sharing my learnings and sharing what I was kind of going through, navigating this space, all my mistakes, losing money, getting kicked out of Discords, all that kind of stuff. But I also
kind of... If you did lose money, you weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And I actually have a funny doxing story that I'll tell you later. But I also realized that there was only a few women in this space, and they were the people that I was talking to. One is over there. And also...
We've got to get another space for Amy and for Tamua and for Jules next week.
Yeah, cool. And also for Maori women in this space, I thought, oh, cool, this is an opportunity to... I don't know, kind of at least be not the person, but one of many to come. So I just wanted to make sure that I was out there kind of...
That's cool. You're holding space for other wahine to come.
Yeah, like giving them permission, giving us permission to be Maori in this space, because I get intimidated by tech, and I get intimidated by this. And that's why I'm like you, brother. I missed a couple of the waves of technology, and I was like, I don't want to miss this. This is not going to be good if I miss this. So dive in deep.
Be my age and seen how many I've seen and missed.
Oh, yeah, well, I was just like, you got to do it. So that's a big reason why I thought, okay, let's just give this a go and at least be one voice for many, but like to give that permission for more women, Maori women, brown women to come through and do this. And actually, even today, I see a lot. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Dope.
Yeah.
Jaddy? You're an interesting dude, bro. Tell the whole story.
Oh.
The short version.
Yeah, no, I think that was what I was getting into is, just starting something. Oh, because I didn't want to, are we allowed to swear here?
Yeah. I think I dropped one F-bomb already.
I just didn't want to mess with my brand and that I created. So I thought, let's just start something new. And I like this idea of what would, if we were like grew out of the metaverse, these Māoris, what would they be like, in 1,000 years in the future? What would they dress like? And so I was thinking around
I love that.
An NFT drop, probably like we all are. But that's what always, I like the idea of that you can free yourself of tradition. And I think that's something I do in architecture, is try and free myself of what's traditional, because I don't think our people ever thought of themselves as being traditional. They just did whatever, Maui just decided to fish up the North Island, he just did it. And so that's what always inspires me, is that tenacity of our people to just get in a waka and paddle to a whole new country and stuff like that. So Metaverse Natives, I was like, yeah, what happens if we just grew out of the metaverse, and what would we look like? And that really challenged me as a designer, and to think like that, but also to kind of claim our space within the metaverse space, like again, to have ownership, and so it's not all just the rich boys with their trying to get a Lamborghini and stuff like that. Like it's
really a little bit like that though.
Yeah, it's but I think there's a bigger picture, and we have a place. We have a place there, and we need to be a part of it. So I think that's what's driven me, and that's why I created a new account, but a new concept, and that's just to free me creatively. Probably
That's
more
real.
than hiding behind a docs,
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know this guy, super talented guy, architecture, fashion design, all actually super talented people in this room. And I got a shout out to Amy and to Tamua and to Jules, all here. Thanks for coming in short notice. Yeah, great stuff. Who wants to go next?
I don't know. I just
got
kind of
the
want to
mic.
elaborate on the Bros Kōrero a little bit.
Go.
Like, I don't know, bro. Like I think that's mean. Like that sort of kaupapa. Like it's like ultimate adaptability, bro. Like ultimate adaptability, and like that's something that our people don't notice about themselves sometimes.
Nice.
That we're the most ultimate adapters. But then again, every human on the planet is as well. Because I have access to one of the best tools on the entire planet. But so do you, and so do you, and so do you, so do you, so do you, so do you, which is the brain, And then we also have the second best, which is the computer, the rorohiko, the, other brain, the tech brain, So like the ultimate adaptability, and I think kind of like, having that as a sort of kaupapa, enforcing it, like, yeah, it might be technical sound out of it, wallets or this and that, 66002111A2, all of this, like, it does freak a lot of people out, and it even personally makes me a bit funny. Like I don't work restricted, like, it makes me a bit like, I have to have a break sometimes or walk around, like, it might look like I don't get much work done, but I actually get 90% of the work done walking around, and then I have to sit down and it has to go from here to there,
That's really cool, bro, because that's quite a, you talk about the use of your brain and your computer, founded in your culture, and what that all adds up to is this incredible educational content that you put out that has form, that has structure, that has these incredible learnings and lessons in it. And I think, like, I don't want to make any assumptions about anybody, but like that's some really super high quality educational content.
Really relatable to anyone at any
Totally.
level,
But to see you go through it, like this creative process that you go through to get to this place where, like, traditionally education is kind of a staid and kind of a stale type of a vibe, right? But you approaching it in a whole new way and creating this content that people are finding really super relatable.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you call it? The Māori blushes.
The Māori blush that's
blocking
happening right
what
now.
I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to talk about, how I reply to that. But ngā mihi, thank you. Like, I appreciate that. Kind of like looking into it, and I don't like see it like that, because I don't see it as structured, and that's why I like the idea of a team. I've always liked the idea of a team, because I need a structured person. I need the person, like, I'm actively learning how to calendar my life, doing everything, like trying to, put things into increments, and I struggle with it. I personally struggle with it, but I just, it might seem like it as much, but like in my head it's like
Yeah.
it's like a whirlwind.
I just want to say, like, I know you don't see it like that, but I've learned heaps from your page, bro. And because obviously we're in Eager Beavers, and I didn't even know like who you were till I met you like a couple of weeks ago. But even like everyone's content here like is so good for anyone who's new in the space, still learning in the space. Like, I've taken in so much knowledge in the last like 3 months just from reading things in your Discord or your posts, and you make your posts so like, I like how you like use the food industry or something like that. So it's so on. I know you're getting the Maori blush, but I'm just gonna give you a little extra prop.
Well, it's only just like translated content.
Yeah.
I can find everything that I got all on the internet, because that's where I got it from.
Yeah. But you make it. You put your own on it,
Yeah,
which is what's good about it. That's what's good about it. I'm interested to hear about like what's the ambition for what you're doing. I know you talked a little bit about the transition, but what is the real like ambition behind what you're like? One thing that I think we don't do enough as Maori is just like proudly just talk about our ambition, because for whatever reason, Maori, we're being humble, or like we're whakamau, whatever the case may be. But like for so many of us, we're talking about, we want to take our friends, we want to take our family, blah, 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 blah. And I really believe like, kids can't be it if they can't see it. Yeah. And if nobody wants to talk about it, and we'll only do humble brag, how can they actually get the detail of it? And
the passion of it.
Yeah, there's articulating your aspiration and your desire. I don't see there's anything wrong with that, unless it comes from a twisty place, right? But I would love to hear for you, like, because you play a super important role in the way the space is evolving, especially for wahine.
Yeah, definitely. I just started out wanting to learn for my own knowledge, but as I've been tutuing in this space and jumping in all these discords and exploring this whole new realm, I think it would be, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm still learning, but I would really ideally love to see this space blow up in New Zealand for women, brown, Maori women, Pacific women, almost like a sisterhood. Like, we talked about it on The Plug one time, how the woman in this space in New Zealand at the moment, it feels quite like a sisterhood, like a tight sisterhood, and I love that. So I would love to, for me, if I could some way build some type of female community so that the females here in Aotearoa don't get left behind, because I've been seeing what's going on overseas, and there's heaps of like women in crypto and NFTs overseas, and they're doing big things, and I love it, and it's so inspiring to me, and I'm like, I want that here for us, like for me, my friends and my family, and hold events specifically tailored for women, women speaking to women. So because the way we communicate to each other is so different to how like a man might communicate to us, or you know what I mean? So I would love to hold
for 21 years. I learned hard lessons.
That's it, So I would really love to start building on that space in time in the future. I think that would be so beautiful to see that like just explode for us. And I have been seeing the women that are in the space at the moment, and they're strong and they're bold and they're in every Discord that I see, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is going to be a vibe. I can already see the parts of it coming together, and the networking, and how it could work, what it could look like. So I would really like to do that for wahine.
To the lady sitting there, since I can't say it, to the lady sitting there listening to this, going, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, message
me.
the sister,
hit me up. People do it all the time.
Because I can't go, let's do it, because I'm not a woman. Hey.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, too much.
I would love to do that, because I want that balance in this new space. I kind of feel like this new space, there's a bit of a level playing field slightly, because it's so new with women to men, but I still think there's more men in this space, but we're not that far behind.
It's a total sausage fest.
Yeah, we're not too far, but like I feel like we've got that time to catch up and get more of us in there, and get more of us understanding the space, how it works for us, how to support each other. We're naturally quite like women group together
Bring
quite
colour
easily.
to the space.
So, yeah.
Make it so not such a corporate, straight up and
Yeah.
down, and
That would
like
be
the world
ideal.
is run like a.
Yeah.
This is the
That's a
way.
little bit crazy though, because like I know that Web3 is all about decentralization and crypto is all about decentralization, but somebody touched on it before. There's like, I don't want it to be just like all these rich white boys out here getting their Lamborghinis. Is it decentralization right now, or is it just like re-centralization? Is the money just going from the Web 2 vibe, and they found a new way to make the same money? I know when we talked a little bit, bro, like, we were talking about the structure of discords and groups and a little bit about like there's people that are in there and it's just like, give me the alpha. I need to hit those flips. And Tamu is smiling because
Discord?
that's him.
Yeah.
But then there's like people that want to learn, and then there's a lot of people like some of us here that are like about the purpose. What's your observation? And how are you playing out what you see inside of Metaverse Natives and up? Because I know we've had some actually good chats. Like we just talk about like projects, sometimes entry points and exit points. Like we talk about the data and that stuff as well. So we have good yarns like that. But then like you're corporate driven hard, and I just think you're a super interesting character.
Yeah. I kind of was just thinking like how you kind of look at the sort of industry or whatever you want to call it, but like you got like you do have your newbies, you got the new people who are interested in the space, who dabbling, and then you got your DJs who are after that flip, and I think there's also like those are looking for the meta, what's the next those big trends, like we're seeing shifting to soul summer, like everyone jumping on the soul projects, and it feels like ETH, maybe 6 months ago, where everything was kind of like anything was hot, you know what I mean? Like anything could be the next, because there's no data to back it. Like we all know Bored Apes is gonna just keep tracking, right?
Juggernaut.
When you jump into the soul NFTs, you're like, shit, what's gonna be next? You have no data to kind of back that. So that's what I think, okay, what could be the next meta after Soul Summer, and we've been talking like layer 2s.
Yeah.
I definitely think with the merge with ETH and the merge, and there's some big things on the way, and it is trying to you know what I mean, get that overview, looking over the chaos and trying to find what's that next thing that's going to pop off. And what
are you on right now? Like, so what's your meta? What's your view on the meta right now?
I think there's this, I would say there's some layer 2 airdrops that I really want to jump on, like Arbitrum, across. Yeah, but I don't, the bridging stuff, like the pegging, like I don't know if everyone's just trying to figure out what the hell pegging is at the moment. Like you think you think you understand stuff, and then the whole new.
That's the type of thing we're talking about here.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Unpegging, sorry, yeah, that's NS. FW, like unpegging and pegging is like when it's connected to another coin, and like there's just so much to learn, and it's so fast, and stuff's just growing. It's like watching evolution, like crawling out of the ocean, and then it's walking on land, and then it sprouts wings, and then it's flying, and then another dragon eats that. You know what I mean? Like there's just so much happening, and it's so fast, and we are right at that early phase of development, and it's cool just being a witness to it. I think like this is the new structure for civilizations, that we're witnessing right now. It's like the birth of money, 4,000, 8,000 years ago. It's the railway network. It's
100.
It's the top. It's going to topple governments, and
It's the printing press.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this morning because I was about to have a chat with this pretty prominent global producer from the film industry. I was like, how do I describe to this person what the heck is going on right now? Because they have an inclination, but they don't really get it. And I'm just like, this is the moving picture. This is the printing press that enabled books. If you think about, bro, like when in the recent history has there been just so many news stories emerge out of nowhere based on characters, hundreds and thousands of characters. So many projects coming out every week. So like some of them are really weak on it, like the law, and I've talked about like storytelling and where I think and how I think that's the future of what kind of happens next. But it's crazy that like I know when we were chatting upstairs and you were like, yeah, and I started getting into posting on my channel and my friend's like, you're not getting into that, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like people don't really understand what's actually happening here. And when you've been around for a minute, like you're old like me, because I'm much older than all of you guys, like I was there like 2004, like when Facebook got born, right? And I'd just seen Google acquire YouTube and like watch Google come out and watch the social video sharing thing. And guess what? One of the biggest dudes that were coming out in Web 2, at the front end of Web 2, like 2004, was this guy called Kevin Rose. And he started this aggregator called Dig. D-I-G-G. It was like the first media. It was like Reddit before Reddit. And then he went, like that blew up. And he was like on the forefront of Web 2, on the Web 2 vanguard. And then there was this other thing he started, Revision 3, which was like this, was like Vice before there was Vice. And he sold that to National Geographic. Well, guess who founded Proof Pass and launched Moonbirds? Same dude.
True.
Same dude, Kevin Rose. Proof Pass, what's that, like 120 ETH? Whatever the hell it is. Moonbirds, what did he mean, like 20 million bucks? He's seen this shit before. I know we're discovering it like it's for the first time, but he's running the program again.
Yeah.
Dude just became, he was like one of the names in Web 2, and he just became a name in Web 3 and generated tens of millions of bucks and continue to do that right now. So the thing is that these patterns have happened before. These patterns are repeating themselves. Happened with the moving picture, happened with the written word, the printing press, happened with television, then Netflix ate television. But like, so this is not new stuff.
I kind of said that to some people too. I was like, but we've done this before, like with the web and with like the radio and TV. So it's just new technology. Like I get that it's scary, but so was the TV when that came out.
But nobody lost $3,000 watching TV. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, true that. But yeah, I said a similar thing, and then I kind of like, oh yeah, I guess so. Yes, I guess it's just making it in a way where they kind of go, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, well it's okay then. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do it whether you said it was okay or not. So, you know.
How do you fly in the face of all of that? Like,
make a whole other page. No, I don't know. You know what, you had a really good chat with Rafatiroa about this, and it was the early adopters, early majority, and I absolutely loved it. If you haven't watched this episode, please go and watch it. It's so good. But I think it's that early adopters thing, like we're the ones tutuing and making the mistakes, and we're the ones figuring out what the right path is. Oh no, that wasn't right, back step, we'll go this way instead. You know, we're the ones who have to find what this new land is, aka what does this new technology do, and then when we've figured out the right paths and we've made all the mistakes and we've kind of got a grip on it, then we can bring our early majority, like you said. I resonated with that so much. It made so much sense to me. And like, I mean, I don't know if I'm maybe we're early adopters, I don't know if I am, but I'm just was like, yeah, I'm in there. This is
just when you look around and you're like one of the only couple of people doing it, you're early adopter.
Yeah, I loved it. So that's another way that I've been trying to explain to people as well.
Like
It's really helped
I'm
me.
aware that I'm dominating the conversation a little bit, and we were going to give you all a chance to just bring your own whakaaro to this conversation. So if someone wants to jump up on that, we can pick that up.
Oh, I was gonna say that the other side drop mint was probably the most stressful day of my life.
Yeah. That was so interesting
I
watching
never
that
felt
mint.
that just made me feel sick for days, and
Did you mint?
nah, the amount of gas I just couldn't
You messaged
contemplate.
me straight away.
Yeah, because it was I was like, it was like 0.7 or 0.9 when I first jumped on, like, and I was like, oh, that's high. I'm not gonna mint now.
And it got
And
worse.
waited and just went to 2.5, and
Ridiculous.
nah, it just, because I've been texting you, like I've been planning. That was like gonna be my big move to jump on other side.
Yeah. So you got the ape coin, you got enough ape in
Yeah,
it.
I was
Did you do the
stacking ape.
KYC thing?
And yeah, I did everything right. Like
Oh man.
I was, DDS actually messaged everyone, get on the
yeah.
KYC now kind of stuff,
that's
which
a
was
good
awesome. Yeah, but it was like my thing was like I missed out on the apes, missed out on Azuki's.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be my thing. I'm there, I'm ready.
Sure.
And just to miss it, it just killed me, and I could have lost my house deposit and all this sort of stuff, because
Yeah.
that's the way I was just like obsessed with getting it. And I think, just to your point, like we are making the mistakes. You know, like I've the first NFT I really bought was a rug. I was gonna buy a T-Fug, and I went and bought a Metagenesis, and it looked good to me, and then the team just disappeared for 3 months, and but you know, like that's money well spent in education. I'll never make that mistake
It's
again.
never an L. It's never a loss, it's a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that L.
I'll tell my
That
wallet
was crazy though, the other side, because I had been like on it. I've been stacking my ape, got my ape real cheap,
Yeah.
and then I was like, man, how much you gonna need for gas? Like I'm gonna need like $1,500 max. Like the gas ain't gonna be more than $1,500. Then you message me when it's 0.7, and I'm already watching it going up over 1 ETH.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, because I'm trying to optimize my gas, like using the advanced settings so that I can hit. And then as you do that, like the whole ETH scans crashing, like the whole world's coming down around you. There's so much volume that the whole system is just like grinding to a halt. And I'm like you, bro. My world's just melting.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
no, this is shit.
Yeah.
I picked up on the secondary the next
yeah.
day around reveal.
I
Was it the next
stoked for
day?
you.
Was the next day? Yeah.
Did you end up jumping back in too?
Nah. That's what's funny though. I used that ape, the money I made on the ape coin. I've paid off my student loan.
Oh, nice.
I've like got my deposit sorted for a house and stuff like that. So, but I was just obsessed with getting that other side, right? You know what I mean? And I still didn't lose, but it still felt like a loss. You know, it's just funny how it works out.
We'll
Yeah,
just
you
have to
didn't
live
live
through Pat.
Yeah, y'all can live
I
extenuously
like
for
that.
me.
Like, 'cause I didn't even attempt. You know what I mean? I didn't even attempt. Like, there's a few things, but I don't know. I like that, bro. Like, 'cause it's my first time meeting you. I've met Omir before. I've never met. You know, it's my first time meeting you, bro.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know. Like, I like that because, like, I'm not too deep in like that. I'll buy because I know that for me for the rest of the year, I'm not investing in heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps. You know what I mean? But I like that you're actually. That's a lot of risk, bro.
Yeah, it's ballsy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you paid off a student loan now,
How good, eh?
you put everything on the line. Like not everything on the line, but
That's a lot of ape
hey,
coin.
student loans aren't cheap.
Yeah.
But what did you get in that? What did you get on the ape? Like what you were DCRing in, or like what were you doing on your ape coin? Like when were you buying? What prices were you getting in that?
Oh, I woke up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and just traded all my every ounce of crypto I had to just get ape, because I hadn't really planned, and I just watched it and I was just like, I'm just gonna commit. And so just put everything in, and just kept going and going up and up and up, and probably should have sold before the mint. You know what I mean? Like I would have done quite well. But yeah, as soon as I saw it dropping, I was like, I can't lose anything on this. I got responsibilities and stuff, so I just sucked it right out. And yeah.
I did the same, bro.
Sure.
I was holding like about maybe 16 to 18 different tokens, different cryptos. I was just like, nah, I'm in on this. I just sold all my other tokens, flipped it all into 8, and then got like exited on a couple of the pumps, then went back in when it went down. So that's why I had a bit of a stack. So when the secondary came, I could get it on the secondary. I overpaid for one of them in retrospect. But like right now, as the market's sort of getting steady, like I paid 6.5 ETH on one of them on the secondary. And as I look at it right now, it's probably valued at about 5 ETH. But like lessons, right?
Yeah.
Lessons, man.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I
think
lost because I've been intensely into some pretty freaking high volume flipping over the last 6 months, whatever. But I lost yeah, thank you, Rain. It's a message.
It's just washing away your losses. It's just washing away the losses.
Does anyone remember that awards ceremony when Rihanna was doing Under My Umbrella? No, was it the Shanti, something about the rain? I don't know, some song. And then she was doing this thing under the rain, and all the rain came in her mouth and she couldn't sing. I feel like that's where we're at right now.
100.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I lost about 5-6 ETH just learning.
Whew.
Just learning. I'm good now, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm excited to see those that I know in New Zealand that have minted, that are in the other side or other deeds. I'm excited to see how you guys. Thank you. I'm excited to see how you guys go. Like I can't wait to see their journey and where that whole space opens up to, and yeah, it's gonna be fire. Use it in. So. You
got the mic, sis. Carry on.
No, I just.
What was that? What was your whakaaro for the evening?
Yeah, mine was, so this is something I didn't know that I'm real cool to talk about. Like, I didn't realize there was such a massive war between Ethereum versus Solana. Like, I genuinely had no idea until I jumped on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I just, every Twitter space was like, one had over 2,000 people listening and arguing like, wow. And then another one had like 500 people, and they were analyzing the situation, and then the one that had over 2,000 people in it, I think, had the artist of, one of the bears, I can't remember, but it was just they were all going in on him, and then he left the chat, and then they were still going in on him, and then I went to another one, and then they were like pro Solana, and they were like, they're just jealous that we're coming up, and I just was like, whoa, there's a whole war happening here I had no idea about. So yeah, that was my thing.
Crazy factions, eh?
Had no idea. Why can't we all just be together? I kind of thought that we were, but yeah, we're not.
Now that was an eye opener for me too. Like I knew there was a bit of tension, but then I didn't know there was like the full anger.
Fully.
And then when I don't know which Discord I was in, but I was maybe it was something to do with OK Bears, because they were like, yeah, them fucking not OK Bears, like those ETH guys.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get on us, la 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 la. It's like, wow.
And they were talking about, and now that I think about it, I don't know what side to be on, because they were talking about how, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because I just literally jumped in the middle of it, but how, was it OK Bears literally just flipped the OK Bears? Or
not
the
OK
art?
Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Not OK Bears. Rip the
OK Bears.
I think so.
Something like that, but they took the art and just flipped it, and then they
ETH'd it.
Yeah, and then they made the money off it and stuff like that, which is, so I think the issue that they were talking about was the artists, like protecting the artist,
right,
how the artist
that's
took
a good point though, right?
Yeah, the artist took all that time to make this art, like 6 months. He drew it by his hands, he came up with it with his imagination, and then another project came and takes his art, flips it, and then they say, this is my art and it's inspired.
Great artists steal.
Yeah, and then yeah, well, yeah, and then the whole korero went into like, yeah, but you know, all projects do that these days, and like
It's true though.
I
Like
do
that,
see that
well, that's a
influence.
fork.
Yeah, so then I was like, I don't know what side to be on because I saw the artist's reason for being mad, and then when you see what the type of NFTs that are out there and how closely influenced they are by each other, I'm like, oh well, they are all quite bloody similar if I'm gonna be real. Like a lot of them are. So
You guys are creative. How do
Yeah.
you feel about that? That somebody could just fork your shit and then next minute do like bazillions in volume.
I'm gonna say a little thing. Like if someone took my song and
There you go.
changed a line or changed the chorus but kept the same, I'd be like, what are we up to, sis? Like, this is weird for me. Are you going to put my royalties in here? What are we doing here? Like, I don't know what's going on. So for me, I was like, oh yeah, I can see the artist's point, but that's just me. Yeah.
What about you, bro? You've been
Yeah,
in fashion
that-
for a
isn't
minute.
this the whole
Yeah,
point
fashion.
of blockchain? Like that it's uncopyable. You know what I mean? Like you've got proof of ownership. So that I think that's quite funny because that's the whole point. That you can prove that you own it, you know, on the blockchain, and then people just raxing it. Oh man, for fashion, man, I kind of follow like Jeremy Scott, you know.
Yeah, Jeremy Scott.
And he's like, if he sees people wearing fake, you know, much, you know, how do you say it? He's like, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
You're still ripping me, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's fake, but you're still, you like my style, like what I produce, and I kind of like that, you know what I mean? Like this, but I think that's a
So
bit
you're down with
different.
the ultimate form
That's
of
a bit
flattery?
different.
Yeah. If kids were like downloading, I wanted to put my logo on as just a download, so you could download it, print it on stuff, because
That's cool.
it's still getting the you know, if you're about kaupapa driven, it's getting that kaupapa out there. But
You're allowing that, you know, you're putting that out because you're allowing that. So
Yeah,
it's almost like
flipping it.
it is all good,
yeah,
you know?
and like Samuel Ross, I think does something similar with A Cold World. You can, it's got a name, upscaling or something like that, but you can just get tags and put it on your own clothing that you make. So maybe I'm a bit different. Like I like the idea.
I think something like that.
Yeah, because you were just talking about like the content is like you can find your content online.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like it's similar to like, I don't know the fella's name, but there's this fella that used to like rax Gucci, you know? He used to like do all of this fake Gucci stuff, but his gears were bad. Like they were mean as. I think it's
The
Gucci.
Don or-
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Louis
And then
Vuitton
they
Don.
raxed a jacket off him. Like he
Yeah.
was making gears.
Yeah.
And then they stole his jacket, but like because they're Gucci, he couldn't say Jack because he
Yeah.
was raxing their gears. But then they ended up sort of like putting him on, and now he's like the man at Gucci. You know, so like that can't like it does, you know, like, and I think of it in terms of a song. Like I'd be a bit pissed if I had done a rhyme, you know, dropped a couple of bars, and someone like spit my lines back to me, and I'm like, hey, up to, but like I'll just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna destroy that whole track you just done
Yeah.
with another album that's
Yeah,
10
totally.
times better, G.
Yeah, fully. I do get out. Sometimes I'm like, I can make another song, but I'm just like, okay, well, damn.
But
like,
there's a lot of mahi that goes into it. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you know, like same like the
and
bros
you know what?
art.
I'm
is-
all
is-
good with
is
that
jewelry.
influence. Like, if you say, man, I was influenced by blockchain, credit to blockchain for influencing me, and now this is how it's come out of me, whatever the content is. Like, I'm all good with that if you drop the credit. Like, but if it's just a...
My
straight
Discord is all about stealing other people's information and sharing it. Just full disclosure.
You said that, so it's good. We're allowed now, so we're like, okay, cool.
I suppose that's kind of like a
permission.
little bit what alpha is, eh? As well. Sometimes letting stuff out the gate that's not really supposed to be let
I
out.
just let it out. Like that's
Just dox yourself, cuz.
here I am. I'm not gonna tell you what passes I got, but like you'll find me. I don't have an alternative handle, so just search and
Yeah.
you'll find me in your alpha pass. Just copy and pasting all of your shit and sharing it with the people for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mean though. That's
Yeah,
mean. It's
really
really
lucky
mean.
for that.
But you know, I was thinking about just to go back to that fashion thing for a second, was that artifact Nike drop that they did of the sneaker, and then the sneaker has the vial, and then the vial makes the sneaker, right? And I was looking at that, and I was like, it was kind of a revelatory moment for me, because like if you think about that whole sneaker culture, is just like, say like Jordans is, you know, like J1s for instance, it's just like a single silhouette. It's just like one shoe. And for so many decades, they've been selling the same shoe in a variety of colorways and textures. But then as soon as I saw those vials drop, I was like, holy shit. Like, if you think about all the variations of J's that have come out over the last 10 years, they just revealed a whole collection that's equivalent probably to the number of J's that have been released in 10 years in like 1 second. Like, and I was looking at it and I was just flicking through and I was like, oh, this is like when I, on StockX, just looking at sneakers. On Novelship, just looking at sneakers, and I was like, what the hell is just happening? And I'm trying to comprehend, like, what does this mean for that industry? That all of a sudden something that, you know, because sometimes time is built, value is built through time, right? The sneaker drops originally, it cost you $175. But because it's a limited drop, like just like NFTs, because it's a limited drop, limited numbers, certain style, in a year it's worth like $3-4 grand. But did they just like shoot themselves in the foot? Because they
potentially.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't know. I don't know.
They bring out
the
too much. Is it too much for the market? Sort of. Do you mean like, is it potentially too much that it's not all going to be?
Like, what's the meta here? Like, what's the big game that they're playing here? Because that's what I'm super interested in, especially from a fashion perspective. When you just created like 10,000 variations, maybe not 10,000, maybe it's like 3,000 variations of a single shoe, albeit a digital shoe, but you did it instantaneously. Like, what does it actually mean for rarity and value inside of the sneaker culture? How is it going to fuck with it? I don't know. Anyway, that was a weird
That's the point of NFTs, I guess, as well, is that if the added value goes up, like a Supreme drop, you get that 5%, right? Royalties back, you know, so it doesn't, you know, you drop it for 100, you know, skateboard, and then it's $3 grand. You're constantly getting that ticket, and I think that's what's cool for artists as far as the NFTs,
100.
Yeah, what I kind of take from like what you were talking about, Pat, like I'm not like, because I've never been like, I've always liked shoes. As a teenager, I collected shoes, but I only collected shoes to have a mean shoe collection. You know, I didn't get right into it. But like what I was kind of seeing is how you were talking about they've done what it took them 10 years to do in a matter of moments. You know what I mean? And I believe the technology also is going to work like that. You know, so we're in the moments, you know. The moment's about to be here. The moment of this technology, blockchain, like is all going to be here. So like everything that happened, like yes, everyone's like, oh, it's like the internet, and it took everyone this long to build their things. Like the technology is going to be moving faster, which means also the progress is going to move faster. They're going to fail faster, but they're also going to succeed faster as well. You know, so they could potentially, like if they had a fail sort of thing, they'd fail faster, but they could come back from it faster. But they could also, like, you know, so I think that we're kind of like in a space where, I don't know, it's kind of like not sort of get on the boat or get on the waka sort of thing, but just kind of being there for the people that do want to get on the waka, you know. Because I reckon, I don't know, I just think there's just so much potential in the technology, like in so many rounds. But I don't know.
Let me ask you a question then.
Okay, yeah.
Like if resource and if money weren't an issue, right? Inside of like NFTs or Web3, what would be the dream thing that you would be doing right now? We can probably finish on this question for everybody. But like if time, money, resource wasn't a question, what would you be doing right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
in the space.
Well, I'll be inviting you and yous to the annual Aotearoa Blockchain Convention.
Right.
Yeah. And the steps to getting there. Yeah, and I'd bring you over to my studio at the Trust, or I wouldn't have a big building. That'll be eventually, but have a trust, you know, create a trust fund that, you know, that's where our courses and our stuff would come out. Our education would actually be built out of a trust fund, and then we'd build businesses so that we could put our, you know, that crypto could be fully funded by, you know, the trust fund we can pump it all back into the trust fund and keep creating courses, and then be there. Like, it's not about like fully about blockchain. Like this kaupapa is about blockchain, but trying to get something to a certain space that it doesn't matter what wave it is. You know how to ride the wave no matter what it is. You know, and getting myself to that point.
Nice.
And then all I got to do is, you know, surf.
Eesh. That's some great metaphor.
Yeah, follow that up.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a
I'm
Yes,
like,
brother,
that's
that's you.
beautiful
I
metaphor.
just want to go to Ape Fest.
Keep it simple.
I was like, oh, cool, I can go to like Ape Fest, Miami. Yeah, that I can't follow that. That was mean.
What would you do, bro? You're a talented dude. I know it.
Architect, fashion.
Architecture, fashion.
Man, I wouldn't mind my own mining rig. I want to understand all the mining.
Bro,
and
put that mic
nodes
up. I don't
and-
think that the rain will get in. Fierce.
Man, I guess I would just want to set myself up and ride the wave like this, bro. Like try and be ahead of it rather than following it. And yeah, I don't know. Ape Fest, man, that was me.
Obsessed with it, eh?
This rain is insane. What about you, sis?
Funny. I actually would love the same thing. Like, I would love to hold some type of NFT convention, even one that was like for all genders, but one that was also for women. I would like to just expand on this space for women, get that education up for women. I'm just gonna say I would love, you know, Gary V to drop a little hello.
Come by, Gary.
Hello.
Yeah, come
You
to the
know,
blockchain convention,
girls
Gary.
from NFT and Aotearoa, I would love that. But I would love to expand on if I had time, money, resources, expand on this for and get wahine in there. However I can, keep educating my damn self. Like, I'm obsessed with this whole space. Like, I love it so much, and I would just keep educating myself. And I would also like to explore the music side of NFTs and storing that on the blockchain. And I don't really know much about that, but I would like to explore that if I had the money and resources and time as well, because I think that would be really, you know, beneficial for musicians and artists. So, yeah, wish I won the lotto.
Real NFTs, have a corridor with the boys from Real NFTs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're calling artists right now. They're looking for artists.
Oh, yo.
To jump in, because I think they just finished working. Well, not finished. They're actively working with House of Shem
Oh,
to
yo.
drop the first
Yeah, so that-
album.
Yes.
so that-
You know, down south here. So
Yeah.
maybe they're
That would
you
be
know,
real cool.
Have a corridor with those regions.
Yeah.
I know the bro that runs our studio space here has got something pretty epic lined up too.
Awesome.
If you're not following Diaz Grimm on Insta, go check
Yeah.
him out because he's got something major dropping.
Cool.
And just a little bit of alpha. Can't say too much, but if you're gonna be, if you like the idea of a convention, you should probably be in Tamaki on Queen's birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
should be there on that weekend. Probably you should be in Auckland like June the 5th. But more details to come probably on Monday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Probably on Monday.
Well, I have a question.
Oh yeah, go.
If we had unlimited resources and time, what would you do? Where would you see? What's your ambition for the space?
Um,
What would you like to see?
you know, I've always been. I'll go back a little bit because, like, you know, just the inequality that is inherent in the system that we're forced to operate in as Indigenous people.
Yeah.
It's just like so real. It's so real. It's tangible. There's racism everywhere, and particularly in the systems where, you know, we need to participate to be able to uplift ourselves financially from a wealth perspective, but pretty much that shit is everywhere. And I've always maintained, as you all sort of have said, that you know, this is a massive opportunity for us to address that inequality. But then you go, how? Well, you know, on the micro, perhaps conversations like this help to move people into the space. But I've always kind of personally held close to my heart what our tupuna did with the kohanga reo movement. And if you think about how, you know, through colonization, through the education system enforcing on our parents and our grandparents' generation, essentially all these practices that was trying to eliminate the language. That without the founders of the kohanga reo movement that went, you know what, we just got to start with our kids. Like teenagers, kind of a little bit hard. Adults, yeah, that's adult education. But if we can fucking win with our tamariki, if we can rebuild, implant, embed the language and the tikanga into our babies, and as they grow, create the system that is going to enable that language and our culture to flourish again, then we can create some real change. And like so many of us sit as an outcome of the decisions that they made. And so what I believe is that for us to realize the potential of opportunities like that, we have to be as fucking systematic as our tupuna were and say, this is what we're doing. And it's going out to every Māori whānau up and down the country. Our kids are all about the blockchain.
Yes.
That's it. Every kohanga, we're going to teach them about the blockchain. We're going to teach them about the blockchain as we teach them about all those other elements of Te Ao Māori. Fundamentally going to instill into them so that when they get to kura kaupapa, when they get to wānanga, whatever their journey is, as much as they understand the tikanga and the reo, they understand the blockchain.
Yeah.
And I think we can create serious generational change for our people because it's so early right now, if we do it so systematically. That's why I love what this bro is about also, because he's on that journey, and that's why like that's where I'll put all my resource.
Nice.
I don't really give a fuck about anything for myself.
Yeah.
Hey Pat, I think I might have, I don't know if you would call this alpha, because I'm probably not supposed to see what I was gonna see, but if people are interested in, you know, the idea of Pat was talking about you know, tamariki learning blockchain, go follow the sister Hey Crypto.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100.
She's got, you know, she's not even a corridor about some stuff at the moment. She's got heaps of mad content. But she's got something coming for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's dope. 100. And that's what I do, and that's what my life is about actually.
Yeah.
It's about like getting behind kaupapa like that. And it's been a crazy journey. We sit in this huge freaking studio that we created ourselves. You know, this is all kaupapa Māori. It's a Māori-owned business. Like we did this. We did it off the back of small business, so we understand a pattern. But like that really, to me, I love small business. I love that the outcome of small business can be self-determination. I love that means tino rangatiratanga, but that's manu motuhake. That's like all these core principles that, you know, are central to our people. I love that. But like right now, I want it for my people. I want it for my kids. I love small business, but I want it for Māori. I want it for Pacific. I want it for Indigenous people. I want it for people that like are underserved and underprivileged, like that didn't get the
100.
opportunity because the system just wasn't set up for us.
100.
So that's kind of my journey anyway. that's where we're putting all our time and resources and money, and that's what this is about. And that's probably a great place for us to wrap up.
Yeah.
I think we did all right because we were kind of nervous upstairs, but
Yeah,
was all good.
I think we got comfy.
Yeah.
100. And
Yeah,
the
I
rain
can-
wasn't too bad. I hope the rain wasn't too bad.
Nah, it was all good.
Kia ora whanau. It's been
Thank
great to
you.
have you here. Will I catch you back next week, or did everyone quit now?
Hey, the couch is here. The
Yes.
beers are cold.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you, fam. That's Friends and Fam for this week. That's the party. Catch us back next week. The people in the background will be in the foreground. People in the foreground will be in the background. We'll just change everything around. We'll get a bigger couch. We'll get more space.
Yes.
And we'll just make this one big wānanga.
Cool.
All right.
Too much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Pat.
fam.
Chair.
Thanks,
Ka kite.
everyone.